Good morning, everyone. Goedemorgen for everyone joining us from Netherlands. Excited to be here today. Thank you for joining on time. We're going to kick us off. We're going to talk about how to achieve a successful HubSpot integration today. And this is a joint webinar between Vet Digital along with Amanda and myself from HubSpot. So thank you again for joining. I hope everyone is feeling really pumped after Eye of the Tiger. That was the intention because integrations are just as cool as rock music. With us today, we have Amanda joining from HubSpot and myself from HubSpot as well. We are both senior solutions engineer. And as you can see, the handsome man on the screen, we also have Hans joining us from Vet Digital. Amanda, can I invite you to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session. My name is Amanda. I'm a solutions engineer at HubSpot. I work together on the Nordics region with Megha here, and we are also joined here by Hans.
Hi, yeah, thanks, Amanda. Good day, everyone. My name is Hans Bulder. I'm working as a solution architect at Vet Digital. And you might have seen it. We have a bit of a different logo on our screen today because starting September 1st, Vet Digital will merge with another Dutch HubSpot agency, Bright Digital. And together we will be known as Bright Digital. This merger will make us the largest HubSpot partner in the Benelux with more than 75 employees divided over 4 locations in the Netherlands. So yeah, we will continue to be a full service HubSpot partner for the market, for the enterprise and the mid-market, sorry, and the corporate markets. Thanks for your introduction, Amanda.
Absolutely. And congratulations on the mergers. This is exciting news.
Thanks. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Amazing. Well, I am sure your future will be bright. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of really bad punny jokes. So I hope you will still stay with us all throughout the session.
I'll do my
But we
best.
have a jam-packed agenda. We did a few minutes of introduction, but we're going to dive very quickly into the different types of integrations that exist, along with why, when, and what should be integrated. This is a very common question we hear from our customers. So excited to walk you through that. And then Hans is going to show us how to integrate and how to create an integration plan, along with some pitfalls and tips for everyone who is looking to have a successful integration set up. But he's also going to tell us some really wonderful success stories of integrations as well. I'm going to be your chat admin for today. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A tab. You will see Q&A at the bottom of your screen. I'll be looking after those questions, try to answer them live. For anything that is pending and requires an explanation, we will use the last 10 minutes to do that. And with that, let's get started. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you, Megha. All right, let's jump into the types of integrations. There are many types of integrations, and you might have heard of some already, but let's jump in to find out a little bit more about each of the integration types. So we have our data integration, the application integration, process integration, system integration, security integration, and UI integration. So these are all we're going to go through today. And you might have heard about them before. If you have any questions about them, please pop them in the chat. I will go a little bit into details of them now. We have the data integrations, which mainly we talk about this is the sync between HubSpot and other platforms that we find in our ecosystem. So we have something called data sync, and the data sync is an already set up sync between 2 platforms. So it's just to plug and play, really. So it's logging into your HubSpot portal, go into your app marketplace, set up the app, and then here, as you can see, you can just map the different fields to each other and it's ready to go. So yeah, and the next one we talked about was the application integration. Just as the last one, you can find a lot of these in the app marketplace. They are typically standalone products that works together with HubSpot functionality. And this one that you can see here is the AirCall, which is a telephony application. and it can work within the HubSpot. So you can actually call from within HubSpot using AirCall, and you get this little box when you're calling. So it's actually functionality that is not in HubSpot, but through the app of AirCall. The next one is process integrations. So again, a lot of these are also part of the app marketplace, if not all of them. And it can allow you to use these apps within your workflows. So if you're doing some automation, it's also really cool to add your tools that you're using externally as well to be able to supercharge your automation. And the one you can see here is arrows. So it allows you to create onboarding right from your workflow. You can also see up there is a Slack one. So you can do a lot of things automated from HubSpot within the workflows using these kinds of integrations. And the next one is systems integrations. These are quite a few. So you have point-to-point integration, hub and spoke integration, iPaaS, and SaaS integrations. And basically, it's just another way to customize even further. You can put in HubSpot in other systems. You can put more data into HubSpot and so on. So it's just a little bit more detailed of an integration. And the security integration. So this is to make your HubSpot or make your assets that you are publishing with HubSpot even more secure. You can use single sign-on, identity access management, and OAuth. And a lot of this is already very deeply integrated in HubSpot because we do care a lot about security. Yes, and last but not least is the UI integration. And the one you can see here flashing by is just someone testing it out a little bit, making a little iframe within HubSpot. And you can make a lot of things with the UI integration. You can make, for example, order management from within HubSpot, making an order from within HubSpot, and connecting it to other systems. So you don't have to leave HubSpot when you're actually managing something that is from another system. So it's bringing all of your apps and content into one place and making it more easy access and not having to change around. We will talk a little bit more about why this matters in a little bit. So next, why, when, and what do we integrate with HubSpot? So let's start on with why. So you unleash the power of unified data and you remove the silos. This is really important. It's something that we base HubSpot solely on in general, that you have all of the data in one place. When you choose to integrate, you get even more data in one place and it removes even more silos. Streamline your workflows and automate tasks from other tools. Just as we said before, it can be very beneficial to use your marketing automation with other tools as well. So when you integrate them, you get the superpower of the workflows within HubSpot. The third is improved user experience and connected customers journeys. Just as I mentioned in the UI integration, it is really nice to have everything in one place. So your user experience will be much better. And also because you are integrating into HubSpot, the customer will get more of a connected customer journey. Increase efficiency and productivity and empower your teams. It also goes together with there's just much more improved user experience. And also you can be so much more productive because you're doing everything at once and you can automate using the power of HubSpot. So yes, that's a little bit of why to integrate. And when we go to the next one, which is when to integrate. We will talk a little bit about some of these points later in Hans' section as well, but signs that you need to integrate at least is your data is siloed. You have them still in a lot of different parts of your business, and you want to have one source of truth. Manual data entry, you might still be using some Excel sheets in between. You might upload Excel sheets to HubSpot and might be much easier to just integrate. Disjointed workflows. So this could be that your workflows in HubSpot are working very well, but it's just not doing everything you want in one place. And you're seeing that it could be much more efficient by putting in an integration. And limited functionality. It might be that you have another tool that that has a lot of functionality, but you're missing some that we have in HubSpot, then you can connect the both and you can utilize best of both worlds. So timing of the integration as well, this is something that Hans will touch on, but let's just move on a little bit on it. So early on, I would say is good when you have as little clutter as possible, so it's easier for you to get started. You should think of this as a strategic growth. So it should be something that you're seeing yourself in your business growing, and also focus on the impact. So this is kind of just the timing of it. Like you can always grow with you, but kind of having that plan. And that we will also touch on later. Additional considerations, it should be easy to use, so it should ease your use. It shouldn't make it more complicated. You should always think about data security. Is it a good data flow? Is it flowing through secure channels? And also cost of benefit analysis. Make sure that this is actually making a change for the better and not just an add-on cost. And remember, don't try to integrate everything at once. Build your integration strategically as your business dictates. So it's not always the best to just start and put everything in place. Take it step by step. This is something that Hans will definitely go through in a little bit. So yeah, and then the last one, what to integrate. We have touched on this a little bit, but here are some of the things that we can see to integrate. We have the different apps in the app marketplace, we have the iPaaS and the APIs. HubSpot has an open API, so it's super easy. If the integration does not exist in the apps marketplace, you can always make it yourself. And I know that that's something that Hans and Vetbright can also discuss with you if you're interested in that. CRM customizations. So that's something that I showed you a little bit with the UI, but we have a bunch of ways to customize your CRM to make it more up to par of what your business is doing and making it easier for you to work within HubSpot. Up here is a little QR code to a very, very brilliant guide to go through that goes through all of the types of integration. So if you want to scan this on your phone right now, you can read that a little bit later. Let's just give everyone like 10 seconds to do that. And then I will actually hand over to Hans. Right.
Hans, you're on mute.
Thanks. Sorry for that. Thank you, Amanda, for the introduction, and yeah, really a good insight into what is all possible. Today, I'll be showing you on how we help our clients to a successful HubSpot integration plan. We think this can really help you create your own plan, and by doing so, create a successful integration itself. Go to the next slide. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so the importance of a well-planned integration. As mentioned by Amanda, HubSpot has made it incredibly easy to integrate a variety of applications. This simplicity means almost anyone can set up an integration. However, this can be a pitfall if we don't plan properly. Poorly planned integrations or not planned at all can result in unforeseen issues, which is why thorough preparation, planning, testing are crucial for success. We have listed some of the key points that a good integration plan can help you with. Minimize data loss and errors. Yeah, one of, I think, the most important ones is that a well-structured integration plan ensures that all critical data is accurately integrated, minimizing the risk of data loss or corruption of data. It helps to map data fields correctly, ensuring that information is consistent and reliable in the new system or both systems together. Second one is ensuring business continuity. By planning the integration thoroughly, disruptions to daily operations can be minimized. A solid plan includes strategies for handling potential downtime and ensuring that the business can continue to operate smoothly throughout the transition and the building of the integration. Optimize system adoption and efficiency. A detailed integration plan includes training and support for users, helping them adapt to the new system more quickly. This leads to higher adoption rates and allows teams to take full advantage of all HubSpot features, ultimately improving overall business efficiency and productivity. And last but not least, the mitigation of the impact on the existing integrations. When you build a plan for integration, you should consider all the existing integrations and how the new setup will interact with them. This helps prevent conflicts in connected systems, ensuring that all integrated tools and platforms continue to function smoothly post-migration. And that takes us to actually the first step, the initial analysis. When we receive a request to integrate any application with HubSpot, we start by conducting an initial analysis. We first check if a default integration option is available in the HubSpot app marketplace, as mentioned by Amanda. And we especially look for the data sync solutions. These solutions are developed by HubSpot and all work close to the same. So that really helps you as a good and solid basis for the integration. We also look for default solutions provided by the other application, even if they are not listed in the marketplace. Those can also be a good and solid basis for your actual integration. Additionally, we explore third-party EPAS tools like, for example, Zapier, Workato, Unito, and there are many, many more. And these can especially be very helpful if they are already running a current integration, either within HubSpot or in the other integration. That can also be a good starting point. And next, we will look for API availability and documentation of the requested application. It might be that the options mentioned before do not offer everything the client is looking for, so we need to be prepared for any custom integration options. Now, armed with this, we start by gathering all existing information. So in many cases, our sales department had already a few calls with our clients and already gathered some information. We try to get that all together and already start adding that to a document, which will evolve into the integration plan itself. We focus here on answering a few key questions. For example, why is an integration necessary? What expectations are tied to that integration? What is the current state of HubSpot? Things like what subscriptions are they running at the moment or going to run if it's a new portal? How and what hubs are being used within HubSpot? And a very important one, what is the quality of the data that's currently living in HubSpot? And or the other application, of course. Are there existing HubSpot integrations? As mentioned before, a very important one. What departments are involved? So we need to know who's going to work with the data that we are integrating. And last but not least, who's going to manage the integration in the future? Because as mentioned before, there's also a training part of a good integration plan. So you need to know who you are training in that stage. This groundwork ensures that we are as prepared as possible for our next phase, and that is the team formation and planning phase. At this point, we like to start with a call, and we like to call it the kickoff call with the project team. And during this kickoff call, we have some main objectives. First off, we get to know each other. We want to know what role each team member plays within this project. and what the main goals for this integration are. Determining a timeline, of course, for the integration process and identifying if the integration team is complete. We like to involve essential figures like departmental influencers, of course, the mentioned application administrator, the IT specialist, and of course the HubSpot admin. They are all very important within this project, but especially the departmental influencers can really help you a great deal. They are a great source of information and are able to create support within the relevant departments. Your integration project is only as successful as the adoption of that integration. Yeah, and that takes us to our next step. Give me a sec to take a sip. Talking as much as I do always makes me want to drink a bit. So the next phase consists of deep dive sessions. During these different sessions, you need to get a full and clear picture of the current work processes and identify all goals, hopes, and expectations of all the team members. Secondly, you will review the data and talk about the importance of that data within HubSpot and how trustworthy the current data is. Many projects always start when we ask the question, what do you want to integrate? Everything. But most of the time, that isn't really the case, especially if data is not trustworthy. The outcome of these meetings is a comprehensive project scope, probably some flow charts, a mapping document on which we can create a solid advice on the best integration solutions and with all the pros and cons. When a decision is made to what kind of integration we are going to build, we go to the next phase. And yeah, you might have guessed it. It's now time to actually create the integration plan. This plan should consist of all the information you gathered, agreements you made, the intended end result, of course, and additionally, armed with all the information you have, you are now able to identify all the hazards and risks of running this project. And you are able to map out all the tasks to be performed and place them in the right place in the timeline of the project. Of course, we need to assign task owners for each task within the project and assigning the deadlines to keep with our timeline. These tasks we like to divide in different groups. We call them pre-integration tasks, trial and test integration tasks, go live tasks, rollback tasks, and monitoring tasks. This structured approach ensures that we cover all bases and can handle any issue that arise during the building of the integration and also after. Especially those rollback tasks are tasks that are forgotten in a lot of projects, and you need to have them in place. Even if you plan out your project as good as you do, it's always possible that things don't end up working as you expected, and you need to be able to roll back. Yeah, I think, and then you are armed with a good integration plan, and you can start developing the integration itself, however that may be. Just a short recap of all the steps. The initial analysis, that is to see what is available to you, what are all the options you have available. The gathering of all information to get a broad idea of what is expected from the integration, the team formation, and make sure you have all the stakeholders involved so the project runs as smooth as possible and you have all the information you need to build a good plan and a good integration. Then the intake and mapping phase. This is one of the most important ones because here you will get a full picture of the scope of the project. Yeah, and finally, as mentioned just a minute ago, the creation of the plan itself. And now you are ready to run a successful integration project. I really hope this helps you understand the importance of a good preparation, and yeah, what points there are to this creation. Of course, there are always some pitfalls, and we have some tips also how to avoid them. So yeah, we have divided them in the before, during, and after. Before, a great pitfall is not knowing the existing data structure before starting the integration, underestimating the time needed and rushing through. And that's something we see a lot of the time. HubSpot has made it really easy to set up your integration. So pretty much anyone with the right access can build an integration. But yeah, you need to have a good plan and understanding of what's going to happen when you integrate. And before every project, make backups. Even if your plan is as solid as possible, you should always be able to restore data to the point before you started integrating. Not only from HubSpot, but also from the application you are integrating. During overloading the system with bad data due to how easy data sync works. Yeah, that actually ties into the other point I made. You need to be sure that the data you are integrating really needs to be in the application you are integrating it with. Just integrating data for the sake of integrating it to make it available only makes your project larger and might confuse the people that work with certain parts of that data. So make sure data lives in the application where it should be. And a big one, Amanda always already mentioned, doing all integrations at the same time. Take your time, plan ahead, do it step by step, so you can really see how everything ties in together, and yeah, don't make a mess of it. And the testing phase. You can start by using a data sync integration, for example. Don't sync all data straight away. Limit it. Data sync pretty much always has some filtering solutions. So start by adding your own contact in your own company and just put that in sync between the two applications or a group of people, and build those tests ahead of time. So you know what is important. I like to ask my clients for like 2 or 3 example companies that they do a lot of business with, that they have a lot of deals and tickets and emails that are logged. So you can really dive into the end result and tweak it during the testing phase. And again, the rollback plan, that should be a big part of your integration plan, and one that should not be forgotten. And after, as important as is the building of the integration and writing down a good plan, maintain that plan and maintain all the documentation of that integration. Update your flowcharts. Make sure everything is up to date, up to your mapping documents. Break it down into phases with smaller milestones. So yeah, especially for larger integrations, do it step by step. Start, for example, with your companies. Just do the basic properties like the company name and the domain name and stuff like that. Especially for contacts, and make sure you include the email address, as that makes your contacts unique. But just start with the first name, last name, and your email, and then when everything works, start adding all the necessary properties. And set up a cadence to check on the health of the integration. So make sure you keep checking if everything works, especially the data sync solutions, but for example, also the well-known Salesforce integration shows you in a good overview what the current state of that integration is. If there are any errors, and what made those errors and how to solve them, and yeah, that really helps you maintain your integration. So yeah, I think that those are some of the pitfalls and some tips on how to avoid them. But we also have some success stories for you. Yeah, we're at Vet Digital. We build many integrations with well, a high variety of all kinds of applications, from custom built integrations, even Zapier based integrations, or sure, a lot of them are based on DataSync. But we also created some of our own integrations. For example, the one with the KVK. The KVK is the Chamber of Commerce here in the Netherlands, and we have built an integration with the KVK. You can use that for both the paid version, but also the free version, but you get less data, of course. And we use that integration to update or complete the company data. And besides that, we are able to offer that integration within forms, public forms. So people that fill out your forms and need to enter some company data, they are able to search the KVK database and immediately import the correct data. And that helps people fill out the forms and yeah, make sure data quality a lot higher. And one of the integrations I think I've done the most of out of all are the Salesforce integrations. I think it's one of the earliest ones also that was available, and yeah, that's a really common integration. Because what we see is that especially sales teams are kind of married to their Salesforce environment. And that's fine, of course. That's why we often set up integrations between HubSpot and Salesforce that take care of the handoff from marketing to sales. Beyond that handoff, the integration also provides data on sales results back to the marketing team working on HubSpot. And this is valuable data for the marketing team and can be used to optimize those handoff criteria. One other is that we do a lot and we see a lot, and lately be doing that with the DataSync solution, because that has been updated extensively in the past months. And that is Exact Online. A large number of companies here in the Netherlands work with Exact Online. So we received that question, well, I would not say weekly, but it's getting close. DataSync has a good integration solution with Exact Online. We like to use the DataSync integration as a solid basis. Based on this basis, we create some custom integrations based on our clients' wishes. For example, the creation of projects in Exact after a deal is closed, or the creation of invoices, of course. But we do that based on the default DataSync integration. So that takes care of the integration of the contacts and the companies and all relevant data. And we just add some custom integrations for specific parts the client is using in Exact in this case. And one integration we have done recently is more tailored to the service department, but it can be anything. And that is Team Leader. Many companies, especially agencies like ourselves in the Benelux, are using Team Leader as a project management tool for time tracking and for customer service tool. We built an integration between HubSpot and Team Leader so that specific customer service forms on the website are automatically synced to Team Leader as a new ticket linked to the correct contact and company. This way you avoid a lot of manual work, retyping tickets into Team Leader and have a singular source of truth. And one that's not mentioned that often, but I like to use it myself a lot, is using integrations as a migration tool. Because sometimes certain applications are going to be sunset and you want that data to and the processes to be migrated to, for example, HubSpot, like the example before for the service projects. Yeah, using a integration helps you migrate and speeds up the process Because yeah, that integration takes care of things like associations between contacts and companies, but sometimes also logged emails and everything. So that can be a really solid basis to start your migration process. And I think that's about yeah, what I wanted to tell about our success stories. I can mention many more, but we have not listed that, those yet. I would like to give it back to you, Megha.
Thank you so much, Hans. You deserve all the water you've been drinking.
Thanks, I will.
Well, this was what we had prepared from our experience in the market, helping our customers figure out integrations and how custom integrations can be successful with HubSpot. One thing that I would say, I know the last 35 minutes, we spoke about how to build these integrations. But do remember, one of the first questions you need to ask, just because we can integrate doesn't mean you integrate everything. So ask yourselves every time you're thinking about starting an integration, do we absolutely need it? Sometimes the easiest way to do that is by just uploading CSV files, for example. So ask yourself that, challenge your own selves before you embark on this journey of integration. And if you follow through all the suggestions and tips that we have shared today, I am certain you're going to have a successful integration. We can stay for a few more minutes to answer some questions. And if you want to connect with us on LinkedIn, we will be sending over this deck as well. So you can add us on LinkedIn as well.